Hello and welcome to another custom module for the Shadowrun Returns. Not using the Director's Cut version this time. I actually played this module a little bit, not much, but I noticed quite quickly that it doesn't work with the Director's Cut version. It works normally for a while, but when you actually start to go on missions, it doesn't work at all. So back to the original. A Stitch in Time. Don't really know too much about it, other than my first impression of this module is absolutely fantastic for two reasons. My biggest complaint about the core play, core game, even the expansion, is that you can't really turn on and off the turn-based fighting mode, and you can't switch items between your teammates during missions. You can only do it at the start of a mission, so it makes looting sort of during mission often quite difficult, because you can't loot with the correct character. At the same time, you can only send the item back to the stash if you don't want to personally take it with your main character, so you can't take advantage of the items you find. This module actually has you can open up a dialogue system that allows you to use basically access the stash anytime you want, so you can switch items between the stash and your characters. It allows abuses, I know, but a lot of good games allow abuses. The thing is, if you don't want to abuse the system, it's a single player game after all. Just don't abuse it. I'll take abusable systems over hugely inconvenient ones every time. So also allows you to at any time you want to switch between the normal mode, I guess, free mode and the turn-based mode. So absolutely fantastic first impression of the module. Don't know a lot of much out of it though, so I can't say if it's if the content it delivers is any good or not. Yeah, might as well get started. A Stitch in Time. Life in the Seattle Barrens is typically brutal and short. It's a foul, decaying mess of poverty and despair in the best of times, but lately it's gotten even worse. The Barrens could use a savior, but it will settle for a mercenary instead. Beggars can't be choosers after all, in the world of Shadowrun. This is a combat-oriented Shadowrun, but it does offer fully fleshed out conversation opportunities to talk your way through objectives or earn discounts. And some missions allow stealth and even solo play for those who want a break from going in guns blazing. But there is always a way when you are willing to throw enough lead downrange. I'm assuming it's when you are willing to throw enough lead downrange. So besides the, I guess, occasional bad English, very positive initial impression of the module. That type of thing doesn't really bother me. I get what the maker is trying to say. Last time we played assault rifle focused fighter that didn't really do much else. I do want to do a variation of that. I'll use a different weapon. I noticed something when I had the assault rifle guy made. But which class? What matters is what we get at the start. +3 karma, +1 charisma, +1 willpower, +1 body. Actually, +3 charisma is worth more than any of these bonuses, so maybe not body and strength, but yeah, I'll take human. I'd like a little bit more refined looking character. I'd like to be a professional guy. I more or less have a concept of the guy I want. Yeah. This'll do. I get a darker skin. Can I get a beard? No, I think we'll be clean shaven. Okay, what I want to do is something that I sort of noticed in the previous campaign I played. At one point we had a temporary ally in our midst that was using a pistol. And when I looked at pistol abilities, there's things you get. It's by far the most interesting out of these weapon special abilities. SMG doesn't really get much. All its abilities pretty much run out at level 3. Shotgun runs out at level 5. Rifle is, I guess, gets something up to level 7, but really the first 3 levels are the interesting things. Pistol is a clear exception. It's fairly dull actually in the early stages, but 6, 7 and 8, no, it's 6 and 7 and 9. It has very interesting special abilities. Well, not the double tap maybe, but chain shot and disarming shot. So what I'm hoping to do is someone who focuses very heavily on pistol. Thing is, I'm not quite sure what exactly does it require of us. It probably requires a lot of quickness, range combat and pistol. I do want to confirm one thing. I need to range combat to I don't know if I have the points for that. That's my biggest worry about taking this. It might be something that we can never reach. We have to keep an eye out for armors and any kind of cyberware that might boost quickness, range combat and pistol. Probably quickness and range combat are the ones we can boost. But I'm not sure will that allow us to get these feats I'm interested in. So this is potentially a bit risky, because pistol on it in itself isn't that great of a weapon. Additional weapon slot. Well, we can use another weapon too, I suppose. I need decent level of weapon use. Chance to hit. I'm not quite sure how these affect the weaponry, but it doesn't particularly matter because our goal is to reach very high on this, so we need all of them anyway. The question is, how much do I want to sidetrack? We can't sidetrack too much, but I think I want to sidetrack enough to get the heal. Or do I? I'm going to try to make do without it. About charisma, I sort of want to take an etiquette. It doesn't particularly matter what etiquette it is, as long as it is we have one. Simply so we have a conversation option. It won't matter much, I think, in the long term. But I don't want to be that kind of a fighter who doesn't do anything else but combat. So anything. The thing is, what am I going to take? Maybe security, social line. I think I'll take Shadowrunner. Or street. Gang and security are probably the most useful ones, at least have been in previous campaigns. I'll take the Shadowrunner. We're a professional Shadowrunner, very professional. That's what we've been doing. That's what we know. Yeah, I want to invest very heavily on these because if we don't get access to these, we're in serious trouble. Pistol is not that good of a weapon. We need the special abilities, then it might be. What I like to at least think my character is a highly skilled pistol user. So instead of using the big guns, he'll be good and lethal with his pistols. We'll see how far that'll take us. That's the concept behind it. Professional hitman. Smiley. Guldrak's Grill. Guldrak's Grill, one of the sleaziest bars in the city full of awful drag-filled bars. You'd never set foot in a place like this unless you were desperate. Mind-numbingly, devastatingly desperate. Can't go back home, and you have nowhere else to turn at this point. So you scrape together the few yen you have left to your name and head inside. Street rumors indicate this is a good place for the type of job desperate broke-ass individuals like yourself could obtain. Something dark, nasty, and highly illegal, no doubt. But when the alternative is starvation on the streets, morals go out the window. Best speak to the bartender Guldrak. Word has it that greasing his palm could get you some hot tips. Okay, new in A Stitch in Time is the player menu. Click on your PC. Okay, It's also okay. For missions involving stealth, if your player is hiding in cover, they will be harder to see by patrolling enemies. Use turn mode to be able to crouch behind cover and keep it between you and the moving enemy at all times. The higher the cover, the better the chance of remaining unseen. If you can kill the enemy, for example, waiting for them to walk past you and opening fire with the party, before they get a turn, they will often not get a chance to raise the alarm. Still, nearby enemies may hear the gunshots and come to investigate, so be careful. Okay, what it's basically trying to say is we can use this. By clicking on our character, we can get the dialogue, where we can enter turn-based mode at any point, or open our stash. So we can basically switch out equipment at any point. Spread them between our characters. Very, very, very handy. I dearly hope that Shadowrun returns Hong Kong. That is supposed to be released in summer 2015. has those improvements, one way or another. The ability to switch items between your team members' missions. Doesn't have to be stash. Stash is not an optimal solution, but I'll take the stash every time over the current system of not being able to switch items. It's just terrible. Slotty Sally. Before you is arguably the ugliest, smelliest, and nastiest troll you've seen in a long time. Considering how ugly and smelly and nasty the average troll is, this guy is a real piece of work. This must be Guldrak. You're about as desperate for work as you've been in a long while, and you're hoping he has something for you now. He cracks a yellowed smile as he sees you wandering in and waves you over for a chat. Hey, chummer, what can I do for you? What can I do you for? Slip him 10 yen. Got any advice for the new guy in town? I just may at that. See the whore over in the parlor off to the side. You may want to speak to her. I'd like to say that it's not appropriate to call her a whore, but when your name is Slutty Sally, you're probably a whore. Before you is one of 1,000 low-grade street whores that infest the city of Seattle like fleas on a dog's carcass. Do fleas linger on dead animals? I don't know. I would imagine not. They're interested in sucking the blood, and dead animals don't actually. Blood doesn't flow too much. Besides the point, though. She looks worn out and tired, even beyond the typical worn out and tired look of most prostitutes. She glances up as you approach and frowns. What do you want, chummer? Guldrak said you are looking for some hired help. We could have hired her, I suppose. Maybe she would not have been interested, or maybe just someone dialogue sex. I don't know. The game doesn't have animations or anything related to that, so I doubt it would be anything all that interesting. Yeah, he spoke right. She gives you an appraising look. Things are tough for us independent street girls. Our choices are work for a pimp who slaves us out and takes pretty much all our profit in return for no one but the pimp getting to beat you up, or you can go to work independently. Some of us have chosen the latter, but occasionally there's a price to be paid for being able to keep what we earn. One of my friends, Susie, got cut up real bad by one of her customers. We can't be having that. If these dickless little fragheads can get away with carving us up once, they will do so again and again. They need to be taught a lesson. The coppers won't give us justice, and there's only so much protection a guy like Guldrak can offer. That's where you come in. If you're interested, I need you to give this hoophead a terminal lesson in manners. There's a cool 1200 in it for you if you bring him street justice and bring me his tool. So, chummer, what do you say? Fine, hopefully I have gloves so I don't have to touch that tool with my hands. Agreed. What are the details? The target's name is Bloody Bill, and he runs the Dreckhawks gang over on the south side. You'll need to get to their hideout. She passes you a piece of paper with an address scrawled on it, and a photo of a vicious-looking troll. And clear the Drake Hall out. Kill him and you'll get the money. You can keep anything you find, just bring me his manhood. I wanna have it bronze and add it to the bar's trophy wall. Good luck, chummer. I strongly suggest you bring some help along. Speak to the guy by the piano. His name is Beefcake and he's a friend of mine. He can help you out on this run. Alright, consider him fragged already. Kill Bill. Get some help from Beefcake. You walk up to a tough-looking orc. He's covering in scars and he is covering in scars. I'm assuming covered in scars and trophies, including a number of ears. Elf ears, dwarf ears, human ears. If it's an ear, he's got it. What do you want, meatbag? I am doing a job for Sally, and she said to speak to you. If I need some help, well, I need some help. Sally. Yeah, I heard about what happened to Susie. That kind of crap can't be tolerated around here. Decent looking whores are hard to find these days. My name is Beefcake, and I'll be helping you out on this run. If you need some gear, there are some fixers in the back room. I suggest we stop by there if you don't have a weapon or a spell ready. Let's roll, chumster. We have... what do we have? We have medkit, the shittiest pistol possible, and a jacket. We don't even have a pistol, so... that is bad. These are just shopkeepers, there's no real dialogue with them or anything. They offer services, nothing more. So, he has 3 pistols. Nothing else of interest. Might as well buy the best one. But which is the best? The Beretta actually does less damage. Lightweight machine pistol, okay, that's why. Probably has auto fire or something. Maybe I should buy the cheapest piece of crap. Actually no, this has a capacity of 12, this has a capacity of 28. And does the same damage. It's only 50 more expensive. I'm not gonna buy the Beretta simply because all of these are really crap. So anyone will do. I don't know how to cast spells. I might try to take healing at one point, but I don't think so. If I can avoid it, I won't take. Okay, I guess we're good to go. Drake Hawk Hideout, Floor 1. You made your way to the Drake Hawk Hideout on the south side of Seattle. It's a 3-story tenement building that should have been condemned decades ago. There's no sign of the original occupants of the building except for maybe some old graffiti. It's been taken over by the Dreckhawks in its entirety, so you won't have to worry too much about collateral damage for once. You make your way inside the first floor of small one-bedroom apartments. You'll need to find the gang leader and kill him, and probably all his gang as well. It's poorly lit and it stinks of steam smoke and vomit, just like most of Seattle. You can try to run past the Dreckhawks to reach the penthouse and Bill, or you can fight your way through the whole place. It's your decision. Note: stealth mechanics active in this scene. Actually, I'm not sure I give a shit about the stealth. I do need a... We would need to be in turn-based mode anyway, I think. Well, there went the... There went... Yep. No point trying to do stealth anymore. The reason I don't want to play with... I would have rather played with the director's cut mode is that the user interface is much better. Here, the same options are visible, but everything's hidden behind an additional button you have to click before you can get the all options to come open. So it's just additional clicks to do the same job. Yeah, they must have heard that, no shit. Huh. This guy has shamanic powers. At least 2 guys are coming our way. Oops. This is trash. Single pistol shot can, if we are lucky, take one out, so not exactly all that tough of an opponent. One guy. He's attacking us with a broom, baseball bat, and some kind of weapon. Yeah, I think we were a good option to take the bit more expensive pistol. Thing is, this has quite a bit more shots. We're not even close to having to reload. Damaging weapon it is not, though. Well, seems to work out fairly well for us. 3 points of damage. Are you shitting me? It's not even in cover. No, that doesn't mean anything. We increase the... There's some kind of brightness setting. No. Ah, shit. Everything's so dark here. Yeah, it's supposed to be dark, no shit, but if you make a game where your night/darkness is actually prevents people from seeing, and you don't provide them with a light, you failed. I'd like to see clearly what I'm doing. So it's also very dull, like darkness. It just... This is a bit more interesting. There's still a color and contrast between different places. This is just blue. Everything's blue. There's like a color film plays over everything. It's not all that appealing about darkness. So what's the loot? Machete fragmentation grenade. We will be definitely piss poor with grenades. Grenades require strength to be good at. That's something we can't afford. Don't be questionable if we can be good at pistols, let alone spread out too much. Basic myth. Another floor. I'm assuming it's gonna be the same shit. Hmm. This is no good. It's a good place to fight though. I think we're gonna pull back here once we have initiated the combat. So have an extra action point. Excellent. I was sort of expecting things to go turn violent anyways sooner or later, so why delay things? Believe thought. Okay, we should be able to deal with this. Mr. Shotgun needs to go first. This one also has a weapon. Yeah, the melee guys are not good, like at all. This is all they got, we should have no trouble here. At the same time, this is the first mission, doesn't mean much. Yeah, they can't even hit us. Kill all the Drek Hawks in the first 2 floors, 2 karma gain. Enter free mode. 2 extra karma though. More body probably would be welcome. And yeah, we don't have dodge either. You're gonna need about 40 to 50 points of health no matter which class you play anyway. So, and with the pistol we just don't have the ability to kill things fast enough at the moment. So the extra health will be welcome. Do you intend to focus more on offensive capabilities? I have to, otherwise the pistol does not make it doesn't make any sense to choose pistol as your weapon. Either you get the special attacks that separate the pistol from the other weapons, or you might as well go with a more powerful weapon. Shotgun, I think, is the most damaging range weapon. Assault rifle is probably the second most damaging. It might, depending on what type of environment you fight in, assault rifle might be more useful. Submachine gun is not the most damaging by far or the most useful, but it's still better than a pistol. Okay, Drakehawk Hideout Penthouse. You made it to the top in one piece, but now the fun is just getting started. This has to be the lair of the Drakehawk's leader, the infamous Bloody Bill. Loud, pounding drums and bass music has prevented them from hearing the cars below. You have the element of surprise. It's time to carve this turkey up. Okay, we're getting a bit too much company here. Anyone have grenades? You could summon. Yeah, fuck, I have to summon something. Forgot that this guy's a shaman. That's an earth elemental, or earth spirit. Very, very low level one. Excellent. He did his part. Don't do anything. Okay. Kamikaze, some kind of a drug. Let him act as a battering ram slash scout. Okay, time to make our move. Ziria, and no. Excellent. Shit. Hades escaped control immediately. I don't understand how they can summon one of those and give them action points immediately when I can. Or if there's a way, I haven't figured it. Any more? This is street thug. I'm gonna keep the elemental under basically as backup. Okay, no one's coming our way. I'm very worried about that spirit at this point. We've used it at such high action point levels that it's extremely risky to use it now. Zero AP and still might still lose control of it. Yeah, this is a catastrophe if we lose control of it. We have to attack with it immediately. We will lose control of it in the next 2 or 3 tries, no matter what we do. It's just going to happen. Okay, that should... No, he should act as a distraction if nothing else. Ah, shit. Holy shit. Yeah, just go berserk. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. Another no-no and Jiria. Well, shit. Earthquake. Shit. Okay, the conjurer has to go. Three points of damage. Oh shit. It's actually really hard to damage. Yeah, at least we survived. Kill all Drake Hawks in Penthouse, 1 karma gained. And cut his wiener off. Bill's package. Weakness +2, action point +1 for 5 rounds. Yes, please. You're looking at Bill's desktop. This is mostly cheap porno and video games, but his email is already open. Is there expensive porno? Apparently there is. Read emails. Bill, I want you to keep sowing fear and terror among the local criminal elements. What you have done so far is not enough. Keep at it or they'll find your gutted corpse dangling from a fragging phone pole, understand? I want more hookers cut up. I want more dealers killed, and I want runners running for their lives. If you can't do it, I'll find someone else. Signed, Red. Anything else? We would need intelligence. How much intelligence? 3. Break the password on Bill's bank account. So, extra cash. I guess this job went down. Another nice thing, compared to Antumbra, buildings in here seem to be buildings. They're building shaped areas with the area fully filled. In Antumbra, there were a lot more tube-like constructions, even with buildings. It's not a major thing, but it usually, because here we basically have a tunnel anyway, but it does matter, I think. It's one of those things, little things that. Oh, Beef Cave survives. +1 karma, hidden objective. It, well, It makes you feel like you're actually playing in a more of a world. I guess it helps with immersion. If every building you go to is just a series, is a tube of rooms that basically, like the Aztec technology in Antumgrab, is basically a gigantic tomb that starts at the front door and ends in the executive office. It's no office structure or corporate building would be like that. The design doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. It's not a big deal. I don't think I even commented on that. But it's one of those things that you notice when someone does it differently. If there's a building, they use a building shape uh, floor plan for their level there, instead of just having the few rooms for the design encounters that don't make any kind of a sense, how thinking how a building should function and how it looked outside. Back to the bar for a little downtime. Time to gear up, heal up, and see what's going on. Plus knock back a few cold ones. Shadowrunning is thirsty work, and you've been working hard.